Welcome back. Let's try another problem of absolute value equation. So exercise 2.137. Absolute value of 3x minus 5 minus 1 is 6. So the goal is to solve for x. It is within absolute values. So let me isolate the absolute value. That is, add 1 to both sides. So that gets us absolute value 3x minus 5 equal 7. At this point, absolute value of an expression is 7, which is a positive number. So the expression is positive 7 or the expression is negative 7. These are the two options. Notice this gives us two equations. One is here, the other is here. Let's solve each equation separately. Add 5 to both sides. This gives me 3x equals 7 plus 5 is 12. Divide both sides by 3. This gives us x equals 4. Okay. On the other hand, let's solve this equation. You get add 5 to both sides. This gives me 3x equals negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. Dividing both sides by 3. Gives us negative 2 over 3. Alright, so x equals 4 or x equals negative 2/3. These are our proposed solutions. At this point, we want to check. Okay, check our equation. Okay, so first we are going to check x equals 4. What do? Where we see x, place parentheses and then put in 4 inside. This is a check, so don't forget, this is a question mark. Absolute value 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. Question is it equal 6? Absolute value 7 is 7 minus 1. It is indeed equal 6. Yes. So what do we say? X equals 4 is a solution. Okay. Now we are going to check x equals negative 2/3 in the same equation, absolute value equation, which was here. Okay. Where I see x, I'll replace it by parentheses. Within the parentheses, I'll put negative 2/3. Remember, this is a check, so don't forget, this is a question mark. Now, absolute value is to be evaluated first because it's a grouping mechanism. So notice 3 reduces the 3. All I'm left with is negative 2 minus 5. Okay, and negative 1 is on the outside. Question is it equal to 6? This is absolute value negative 7 minus 1. Question is it equal 6? Absolute value of negative 7 is 7 minus 1 is indeed 6. So yes, so x equals negative 2/3 is a solution. Therefore, what is the solution set? We had x equals 4 and x equals negative 2/3. Alright, let's try one more. Exercise 2.138. We want to solve absolute value 4x minus 3 minus 5 equals 2. Well, get rid of this negative 5, add 5 to both sides. This gets me absolute value 4x minus 3 equals 2 plus 5 is a 7. At this point, notice this is a positive number. We have absolute value of an expression here. That says 4x minus 3 is 7 or 4x minus 3 is negative 7. So you have two equations, solve for each. Add 3 here, add 3. Add 3 here and add 3. Okay. So these two reduce, cancel each other. You are left with 4x equals 7 plus 3 is 10. Divide by 4. X equals, this reduces, mind you. So it is fraction. 2 goes in both, 5 over 2. Okay. On the other hand, here, if when I add 3, these two cancel, I'm left with 4x equals negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. Divide both sides by 4. So that is, mind you, this is an OR. X equals negative 1. 4 over 4 with a negative. So now we are ready to check. Okay. Firstly, let's check x equals 5 halves. Check in our original equation. And how do we check? Where you see x, first place parentheses. And don't forget, equation is now question mark equation. In the parentheses, place your x value. In our case, 5 halves. Absolute value. Now, simplifying this, 2 reduces 4 2 times. So 2 times 5 minus 3, absolute value, minus 5. Question is it equal to? So, parenthesis, that's 10. 2 times 5 is 10. Minus 3, 7. Absolute value, minus 5. Question is it 2? Absolute value 7 is 7. 7 minus 5, 2 is 2. Yes, right? In other words, so x equals 5 halves. Is a solution. Okay. The other thing we want to check is negative 1. Don't forget, you have two proposed solutions. Now you are checking x equals negative 1. In your equation, absolute value 4x minus 3 minus 5 is 2. So you want to check whether this is equal when x is negative 1. Okay, don't forget parentheses. So that tells me absolute value 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Add a minus 3, minus 5. Question equals 2. Absolute value of negative 7 minus 5. Question equals 2. Absolute value of negative 7 is 7 minus 5. Question equals 2. Well, of course it is. 7 minus 5 is 2. Yes. In other words, x equals negative 1 is a solution. So we had two proposed solutions and they are both solutions. So solution set is, it is set, that's a braces, 5 halves and negative 1. Okay, so there are two solutions to your problem. Okay, let's continue in our next video.